All right, guys, so we're on our review. Boom, boom, boom. Before we get started, we're going to talk about the different types of congruence we've learned. So we've talked about side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, hypotenuse leg, and CPCTC. Woo! So those are some of the things we're going to end up using on this big test. So keep those in mind. Number one says that we're always going to start off with our given. So we look and see, hey, look, stuff is typed for us. So we're going to highlight that guy. And then we ask ourselves, is anything on the picture to be highlighted? Nope. Good to go. So we're going to go ahead and type what's given to us. So first one says F is the midpoint of GE, and EG bisects DH. I have to make it a little bit smaller so it fits. Well, I see that EF, which is here, is congruent to GF, which is there. So what told me in my given statement that I got to make those marks? Well, I see F is the midpoint. Okay, F's kind of involved in that, so it might be that first one. Or I see EG bisects DH. Well, I see the word bisect down below in number 3, so it can't be that one. So it's got to be this thing midpoint. So F is the midpoint of EG. Well, that makes sense, because if you notice, E to G is the whole distance. F sits in the middle, so therefore they must be equal. So this guy's going to be a definition of midpoint, because the middle cut him in half. Since F's in the middle, it cuts it in half. Okay, so I used this part. Next, I see bisect, and if you notice, I see the word bisect. So let's see what that says. EG bisects DH. So this line bisects this one, which means bisect. Bisect cuts in half, so therefore, this guy must be congruent to this guy. So DF is congruent to HF. Again, that's a definition of bisect. So we used him. Okay, cool. Next, I see that there's nothing else in the given, but maybe there's some free stuff. Ooh, vertical angles. He's a free stuff. Vertical angles are across from each other in our bow tie. And I can't just say angle F here, unfortunately, because F is split into 4 technically different pieces. So I've said angle DFE is congruent to angle, well, D to F was 2 reds, so H to F and then back to G. And then look, what information do I have? I have a side, an angle in the middle, and then another side. I have a side, an angle in the middle, and another side. So this was by side angle side. Number 2, whew, I have lots of things given that I might not be able to type it all. We'll find out. We might have to blow up my picture a little bit. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to blow it up. We're going to have to go with it. We're going to go with it. We're going to just send it. All right, we've got lots of given information, so we're going to have to get that all typed into my given line. So remember, this crazy upside down T symbol means to bisect. I'm sorry, means perpendicular. Oh, nothing means bisect. I'm just having a silly moment. So that means perpendicular. So DB is perpendicular to AC. And EC is perpendicular to AC. And angle D congruent angle E. Oh man. And lastly, DA congruent to EB. Ha, yeah, it does take up both space. Okay, so this is all of one. Again, write as small as you can. Sorry, I can only do so much with what I'm given. Okay, can't really use the word perpendicular because I see perpendicular down here, so I'm not going to try anything yet. But I can put in my congruence marks for my angles. That's exciting. So angle D is congruent to angle E. Ooh, I can also do a congruent line. DA is congruent to EB. So I've used both of those things. Cool. Perpendicular lines, perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines create a specific type of angle. They create right angles. So I can say that since DB is perpendicular to AC, I can create a line there. And EC is perpendicular to AC, so I can create those. So I'm going to type I might have to move this up. Angle DBA and angle ECB are right angles. And that's because of the definition of a perpendicular line. Next, I see that angle A to B to D is equal to B to C to E. Well, hey, how do I know they're equal? Well, because they're right angles. So definition of right angles. And then number 4, what did we use? Well, I've got 2 angles and a side. So this has to be, remember we don't write profanity, so angle, angle, side. Next one, number 3. Oh, perfect. Guess what, guys? Where's my mouse? There it is. My given 30 wrote for me. Yes. So all I have to do is go given. Woohoo! Hey, that is that right there. Writing the word given is the easiest point in the world. Write it. Don't leave it blank. The amount of people, for some reason, who don't even write the word given just blows my mind. Number 1 is always given. Always. Don't know why that's so hard to write. Flabbergasts me. Information, the reason it's just given to you. All right, so let's see if there's anything I can do. Okay, I see the word midpoint and I see the word midpoint, so that means I'm going to do something with midpoint down here. Not going to draw anything. But I have a congruent statement that I can put on there and pen. So DA is congruent to DC. Okay, so I've got that. Cool. Marked off. Now I see the word midpoint, so we're going to have to do something with the midpoint. So let's go back. B is the midpoint of AC. Well, AC is this guy right here. Midpoint means sits in the middle, so B sits in the middle of that line. So therefore, it cuts it in half. So type B. AB is congruent to CB because it's the definition of my midpoint. And I got him now checked off, so checkaroonies, check. I see reflexive property. Ooh, that's my given stuff. That's my favorite. So that's got to be the guy in the middle. So DB is congruent to DB. That's my purple guy. So let's look. What's marked? Side, side, side. Oh, another really easy point. Have you noticed yet that all of these proving statements here, what it tells you to prove, is typically the last line? So if this is missing, it just goes down there, guys. Two easiest things, given and what to find. Just saying. Whew. This is going to be another tricky one to type. I'm going to have to go even smaller. Remember, perpendicular. Perpendicular. So HV perpendicular to GT. GH congruent TV. HGTV. Sorry. Oh, come on, that was funny. And I've got that K is the midpoint of HV. That was too hard. I got it. We're good. So I'm going to hold off on the perpendicular because I see maybe that might be step 2, maybe. Because then I see the word right angles later and I'm like thinking ahead. So I'm going to hold off on that congruence statement there. Why are we typing a really large Z? So, but I can do this, guys. So GH congruent to TV. And then midpoint, and then I see maybe there might be a midpoint later on. Maybe I don't see it yet, so I'm theorizing that it might be there. All right, G, K, H, G to K to H, and T to K to V are right angles. Well, what told me they're right angles? Well, I have this word perpendicular. Remember, perpendicular creates right angles, so this is definition of perpendicular. Really want to put either. Check. Okay, I can't get to midpoint yet because I proved something about right triangles. Or I'm sorry, I say something about right angles. So because of that, well, we know that right angles are all equal. So angle GKH is congruent to angle TKV. Why? Because all right angles are equal to each other. Cool. Use that perpendicular stuff twice. Yes. Then it says K is the midpoint of VH, so VH, wow, I read that backwards twice. HV is here, midpoint sits in the middle. So if he sits in the middle, then this guy and this guy must be equal. And that would be my definition reasoning. So definition, I need my, whew. So then I say, hey, look, it's a right triangle. So then I can say that triangle KGH and triangle KTV are right triangles. Again, I've got a right angle, I've got a hypotenuse, I've got some legs. So therefore, these guys are congruent by hypotenuse leg. It's a long one. Number 5. Gotta start with our given. Nothing is marked, so we're good to go. We're just gonna do some typey. So DH bisects angle BDF and angle 1 congruent to angle 2. All right, I see a definition word, so I'm going to skip over him for a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and do angle 1 congruent to angle 2. I see it says that angle BDH, so I need a different color, B to D to H, is congruent to F to D to H. And needs reasoning. Well, let's go back and look. DH, this line, cuts BDF in half, so therefore those two parts are equal, and that's based on my definition of bisect. And then I see my favorite reflexive property, so that must mean I get to put that line there and say that DH congruent to DH. And then I say, hey, I've got an angle, I've got a side, and I've got an angle. So we proved it based on ASA. Okay, guys, one more proof. Oop, we got another symbol we got to refresh our brains about. Remember, that means parallel. And I looked, do I see anything marked? Nope, except for the parallel congruency. I already see that, and it's given to me, so we're good to go. So AB is parallel to CD, and AE is congruent to C. All that stuff's given. I already have it marked that it's parallel. It doesn't make anything equal, so I can't really do anything with that statement yet. But I see that AE is congruent to CE, so I can go ahead and mark that guy. Oop, I see my vertical angles. That's my given guy. Ooh, look, bow tie. So he's equal to him, which means that angle AEB is congruent to angle A to E, so red mark. So I have to go C to E to D because, again, red to red. Gotta be consistent. I'm going to move this down here because it's kind of jumbling up with my given. Alternate interior angles. So I'm trying to figure out how I could do this without physically moving everything. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna have to draw over it. Remember when we talked about, oh, that's a good straight line. Parallel lines and a transversal, and it cuts it, and I have alternate interior guys that are congruent. So I use green yet. This guy is alternate to this guy, and it conveniently lies in my picture, which means that angle A and angle C are congruent, which is what I'm going to typey. Because that's my perpendicular, that's my alternate interior angles guy. I'm going to try really hard to get rid of this black so I can see my picture again, but it's not going to go over too hot. I'm going to just get rid of the black lines so that I can go back and do this. Because we had colored it, and then we had typed this stuff. Angle A congruent C. And I see I have an angle, I have a side, and I have an angle. I have green, red, and purple. So angle side ASA. And then if you notice, hey, look, it's asking me to prove something that wasn't triangle congruence. So it wants me to prove this, and it's already given the CPCTC. So AB congruent CD. Two easiest things to fill out, guys, the given and the proof statement. Seriously, fill it out. 2 points right there. Better than 0. Okay, determine any missing information that you need to prove the indicated congruence. So number 7, I need side angle side. Well, I already have the given piece. Come on, go back to my pen. Here, so he's already given to me technically. He's a freebie. So I need this side and this side. So I need MN. It's congruent to M to N, so K to L. Now for number 8, I need angle, angle, side. So I have one angle marked, I have another angle marked, so it has to be the other side. So this one's AC. And then I have angle, angle, side, so I need AC is congruent to YX. All right, I've got some ASA in the next one. So I need my other angle, and again, that side has to be in the middle, so the only other chances it can be are R and F. I don't have any fun stuff for SAB, but I can tell you that I can see some vertical angles in there, so that's cool. So that's one of my givens, but that's not my missing. I have the side, I need the other angle, so therefore I have to have D, I have to have E. Just kidding, I can't read letters today. Come on. I have a side, I have an angle, I need the other side. So I need this side and I need this side. So I need AB is congruent to CB. All right, so for 11, I've got already this guy because he's given. So I need to know that I have a right angle. So I need to know that angle MP. Let's try this, just writing again. Angle MPN and cool. OPN are right angles. I need another angle for this next one. I need to go angle, angle, side. I already have the side, I have an angle, so I need to go backwards. So I need W. And I need P, so I need to know that W is congruent to angle P. I am on my face, so extendo pago. I need angle, angle, side. I have the side here. It's my congruent guy. So I can't use U. U would cause the side to be in the middle, so it has to be angle R. It has to be angle T. I need side, 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 so I need my third side here and my third side here. So dy is congruent to bt. And I need hypotenuse leg. I already have this given information. It has to be itself. So I really could do one of two things. I could do TA and CE. or I don't need both. I just need one or the other. AC and T, I'm sorry, ET. Now, if I have all four marked, you won't get any points. I need one or the other. Remember, explicitly state what you need. Woohoo, last page. Get into home base. All right, so this guy's my given. So I need to know that this one is equal to this one. So I need GB is congruent to YD. I need hypotenuse leg. Right now I have a leg. Right now I have the right angle, so I need the hypotenuses. So VX, right? Yeah, the T's on the other side, is congruent to an S. This is the letter S up here, by the way. ST. It's like, huh, I don't have a letter. My paper got a little cut off when I scanned it. The copier is really good at doing that, let me tell you. I need ASA again. I have my side here, so I need another angle. So it has to be this one, and it has to be this one. So angle DBC is congruent to angle B to D to A. All right, you're going to want your handy dandy calculator so you can do some additions and subtractions, maybe divisions, depending on if we divide by 2, to determine the following information on picture number 19. I need to know the measure of angle 1. Well, I see this as a straight line. Straight lines are 180 degrees. So I'm going to take 180 minus the 124 I'm given, and I should get 56. Well, since this side is equal to this side, this angle is equal to this angle, so angle 2 also has to be 56. Well, again, since this is another straight line right here, and angle 2 is 56, angle 3 would have to be also 124, like this guy out here was, because they're congruent. And then let's see, 56 and 56 give me 112, so I need 180 minus 112 to give me 68, which is angle 4. All right, number 20. Okay, so that is a 142. That's not saying angle 1. This is saying 142 degrees. This is angle 1. This is angle 2. This is angle 3. This is angle 4. And this is angle 5. Those are not angle measures. If they were, they would have a degree symbol. I know that was a big controversy a couple years ago when I taught, because they're like, well, that looks like it's 1 degree. What? That doesn't make any sense. That remotely doesn't make any sense. These are, however, right angle marks here. That was rough. I'll try that again. Those are right angle marks there. So that does indicate a right angle between the whole big angle. Keeping that aware. All right, so get to angle 1. I see that angle, this side is equal and this side is equal, so these angles must be congruent. So angle 1 and angle 2 have to be the same. So I have 180 minus 142, which would end up giving me 38. So I have 38 degrees to work with, but I have 2 equal angles. So each of them are 19 degrees. Well, if this little piece over here is 19, Then I have 90 minus 19, which gives me 71. And again, since this is 19, this is 90 minus 19, which also gives me 71. Or I could have approached, hey, this side is equal, this side is equal, the sides across must be equal. I also could have seen that. And then that gives me what, 142? 71 plus 71 is 142. So then 180 minus 142 would have to be 38. So the measure of angle 5 is 38 degrees. All right, and last one. So if you notice, any angle that has this mark means that they're all congruent. I don't know why. Sometimes it's dull and sometimes it's not dull, but okay. So all of those angles are congruent. So 1 and 2 should be the same angle degree. But I have to work over, In order to deal with angle 1 and 2, I have to deal with these angles because I have nothing in the triangle on the left at all. These are all angle names. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. So I have to work with this triangle first. Since these angles are congruent, I can take my 180 minus the 28, which is 152, and divide that in half, which gives me 76. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Which gives me 76. So every single yellow angle, 76. Which means angle 1 and angle 2 are 76 degrees. Alrighty. Well, to get to angle 3 then, let's be logical. Essentially, I took this triangle. Let's see if I can do it. I took this triangle, and it got flipped to go here, right? So if this angle is 28, angle 4 has to be 28. And then if I, where's my mouse? Flip it a third time. Aw, poo. Where's my red triangle at? Here it is. Move it here. Angle 3 also has to be 28. And then I think we are done. So good luck on your test tomorrow, guys, or whenever it is.